Hi, Steve. Thanks for coming in again today.
My pleasure, Miss Kim.
So we've talked the past couple of weeks about your work schedule, working full-time and doing the side work. How's this past week been since we've seen each other?
Pretty busy. I do what I do. I come home, I go to work, work on cars when I get home,
And work on cars all day
and I
long.
work on them all day long.
I know that you're trying to have more family time, have more personal time. What's stopping you from doing that?
I like helping people out. I like the money.
Okay. Tell me about your budget. Do you need the money?
We did. Now, not so much, but I have a clientele base. I don't know what the future holds, so I try and keep the client base so that if, say, my employer decides that he doesn't want to have the business anymore and he decides to pass it my way, I have a clientele base to bring with me so that my business won't crash and burn. The possibilities of him leaving sooner than later are greater than not.
So you're concerned about your future, it sounds like.
Always thinking ahead.
And by keeping your side business going, you feel that if the full-time work should shut down, if that shop closes, you'll be able to just pick up with your business, and would you be able to make the same income? Is that a consideration?
I believe I wouldn't be able to make the same income right off the bat. I think I'd be close just because I wouldn't have the steadiness that the job brings.
That your full-time job brings.
Right.
So what do you think? It sounds like money, for sure, is one of the barriers. You're concerned
It
about.
makes the world go round.
You're concerned about losing some income by cutting your side business.
Mhm.
How much income do you think you'd really lose? It sounds like you might be fearful that you would lose your customer base.
No customers. I mean, income-wise, a couple $100 a week, I would assume.
A couple hundred a week? Do you think that you have a loyal customer base?
Yeah,
And are you confident in the skill that you have?
very much so.
So do you believe that your customers would kind of work around this new schedule you're thinking about?
I assume yes. I don't know.
So what is your overall goal of what you're looking at for personal time? Tell me what that looks like for you.
Personal time would just be not having an agenda when I got off of work and just if somebody said, "You want to go ride your motorcycle?" I can go ride my motorcycle. If I wanted to go out to dinner, I go out to dinner. If I had a kids football game, go to a kids football game.
And right now you don't get to do those things?
It's dicey. You gotta schedule around and
Is the schedule that you're currently using, if you have one, not working?
I had one for a while, but then I take a vacation and I become backlogged. And I guess to answer your question, people do wait because people have waited a month for me to look at their car.
But you feel like you're under a lot of pressure to get their work done if you take the time off.
Right. The trick to the business is get them while they're broken before they go somewhere else because everyone needs their car.
I'm pretty sure I heard you say people have waited a month for you to fix their car.
Depending on the problem.
So some problems are more urgent than other problems. So is it that do you feel like you're letting them down, or do you feel like it's the loss of money?
I I think that's a trick question. I don't know.
So that's something that you should think about. Is it the money, or is it your sense of pride about what you do? Because I believe that that might be a barrier to you actually making the change. Do you feel you put too much pressure on yourself?
Well, yeah. But I guess it's because of the money.
So what are some thoughts you have in order to keep the side business going and maintain your current clients, but finding that balance that you desire for yourself?
Limiting days, I guess, that I've been trying. And, like certain days I'll work on cars, certain days I won't.
And you said trying, so that's not working?
Well, it was, and then I got backlogged. Now
You
it's-
said you took a vacation, right?
Now it's not so good.
So now you feel behind, and you feel like you have to work even harder to catch
Right.
up.
There's always cars breaking.
But again, you said people have waited in the past.
Right, but you wait, and then you have to work. There's never an end to the light. You want to see end to the light.
No,
Or
and
end at the light at the tunnel thing
the
with
tunnel light.
with the train and the woo, yeah, the light.
And you don't feel
Not
like
when you die,
there's
the other light.
you don't feel like there's light at the end of your work tunnel.
Correct.
What are some things that you've tried to do that have been successful? You said you were scheduling,
I was writing them down in a book and keeping track of them.
and that went well.
Doing well.
But then, is it vacation that got that off track?
I guess, and then there was like that lull, that lack of consistency. So then there wasn't a need to have the book to schedule people, and then next thing you know, you're overwhelmed and more cars than you know what to do with.
So it really sounds to me like,
Poor management. I don't want to hear that, Miss Kim.
I wasn't really going to say poor management, but it feels like personal pressure that you put on yourself to succeed in your side business. You've said multiple times that your clients will wait. It seems like perhaps you don't like having your clients wait.
Nope.
So I think that's going to be your
My
biggest
biggest
barrier.
battle.
Right. How do you become comfortable with knowing that people are waiting for your service? I mean, it sounds like it's a very pressure-filled business. You know, obviously people need their cars. And obviously, I'm sure you make concession when it's an emergency and not just, you know, someone needs a brake job.
What's the question?
I forgot the question. So the scheduling worked, but then you got off track.
Correct.
Okay. Have you tried to get back to the scheduling since it worked?
I have not.
So you had a calendar you used or a notebook?
It was a notebook. It would fit right in my pocket. It was on me all the time. I could write down cars, days, people, parts.
Okay. So do you think maybe you should try to implement the scheduling again?
Probably.
And how many days are you providing for yourself to be able to do the fun things that you feel like you're missing out on?
I'm trying to get at least 3.
Okay. Now, are we talking about Monday through Friday, or are you including your weekends? Do you work on cars on the weekend?
I've tried not to, but sometimes it's the only time that works for the job.
So again, based on urgent and based on the
Well,
need of your
the
client.
timeline on how much time it's going to take. Some stuff just takes too long to do after work.
So a larger job that might take 6 hours obviously you can't keep their car for a couple of days
Right.
if it's their only vehicle.
Right.
So what days do you typically schedule and what days do you not schedule?
I try to schedule throughout the week. Try not to work Mondays, Saturdays, or Sundays.
Okay, so that's 3 days.
And hesitant on Fridays.
Okay,
But,
so that leaves Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
But if you have 3 cars, that sets you back because the first day you got to look at the car, then you got to go get the parts, then the second day you fix it. Now you got 200 cars. Now your one car that was supposed to be Thursday's inspection is rolled over into Friday because you couldn't get the parts. See my dilemma?
I do. It
It's
sounds.
complicated.
It sounds extremely
Very,
complicated.
very traumatizing.
But it also sounds like
I
perhaps
need more employees.
you don't stick to your guns and the schedule that you set out that was working.
I'm a sucker for money.
Somehow you got off track. And was that solely due to money? That's something I think you have to think about. Because it seems like you're successful, but that balance between personal time and working is what you need to find.
Got my homework.
Perhaps coming up with a schedule. And I'm sure people will understand wrong parts, things happen. I imagine you're saving them a lot of money.
I try.
So that's a bonus of them sticking with you. Yeah, I think that, going back to the schedule that you used to use, that was successful for you. Did you feel like it added pressure or took pressure off?
Honestly, I thought maybe it was a little less pressure
Okay.
because I wasn't forgetting
You weren't forgetting things?
things. If there's production. Hey,
Stop it.
that's not kumbaya.
Okay, so you're going to go back to the schedule that you used to use
Right.
and outlining those days that you said seem to work best for you. And then maybe next time we'll get together, we'll talk about what barriers that came up, parts or things like that. And we'll work more on the change plan and how maybe you could tweak the schedule to allow for those kinds of things that come up unexpectedly. Okay?
I like the idea.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Fair enough, Miss Kim.